Hey, what's going on, everybody? Been a while since I said this, but welcome back to Grounded. So the new Super Duper update has just released into the public test branch, public test server, if you want to call it. I will leave a link in the description for these patch notes, as well as how to join the PTS if you guys are so inclined. I personally didn't think that we were going to get an update like this for a while, if at all, where we actually have new insects and new quality of life changes, new weapons, armor, equipment, everything. So I was pretty surprised and kind of caught off guard with this. So you guys may or may not have heard that it did come out yesterday. If not, then we're going to give you some information here over the patch notes for this new Super Duper update. Obviously, there's a ton of patch notes. I'll scroll through here and just show you guys everything. We're not going to cover every single line, but as you can see, it's a pretty decent sized update. So let's take a look and see what we got. Obviously, wasps are the biggest thing added. Wasps swarm the yard. Get ready to buzz with excitement as wasps invade the yard. Battle with wasps and drones that guard their mini hives across the upper yard. Keep your eyes peeled for the hidden main nest as well. A word of caution, piss off their kin or you'll release the full fury of the hive. So I don't know if that's wasp base raids are a thing as well. But interesting to know also, the new boss, the Wasp Queen, is introduced as well. Cozy within her hidden hive, the ominous Queen of the Skies awaits. But this is pretty cool. We have new insects. Obviously, wasps were something that were shown on the main game page when you first started playing it a couple years ago. And they were never introduced. Well, now they're here, so that's really cool to see. Obviously, you're going to have to wait to get here, or you can jump up there. I've seen a little bit of the combat with wasps, and I will tell you, you need to be prepared. They will not mess around with you one-on-one. You have a good chance. Any more than that, you're probably gonna take some L's on that. The Super Duper item duplication machine. This thing is pretty cool now. So especially with multiplayer, being able to duplicate trinkets, items, upgrade stones, weapons, armor, all that kind of stuff is pretty sweet. The Super Duper is a new piece of equipment installed in the Oak Lab that duplicates gear and items using raw science. Now, I don't know the number of raw science. Obviously, I would think like the bigger thing or the more rare or upgraded piece of equipment that you're trying to duplicate will probably take a lot more raw science than a little bit. There are duper discs in the yard labs, which upgrade the Super Duper to clone even more items. The first disc unlocks operation of the Super Duper, while the other discs unlock duping of higher tier equipment and items. So not only is it going to be more raw science, theoretically, you also have to go and get all these discs. So you can't just jump in the game day one and duplicate everything with your friends. You'd have to work for it. Any equipment that is duped will include all the smithing upgrades. So if you have upgraded armor or weapons, those are included. Higher tier equipment costs more raw science to dupe. Trinkets, unique items, and upgrade stones. One of the big things that was an issue with multiplayer is the trinkets when they were introduced, is there was only one per map. So this kind of addresses that situation. To where now you can duplicate as many trinkets as you want for all your people playing in multiplayer. Duplicate an upgraded equipment set for your friends if they're joining your party midway through your adventure. Of course, it's going to take you raw science, so if you don't have enough raw science, then this is probably not going to be possible. So you're going to spend a lot of time getting the raw science just to be able to do this. So just be mindful of that. Chillax at your base. Bases are more than just protection against giant insects that want to eat you. They're also for make you feel warm and fuzzy inside. So this does take a little bit of from other games to where you basically have a comfort level at your base. Buildings now exude cozy vibes when you're nearby. You get a level of coziness. For each level of coziness reach, you unlock new things, new building recipes, a new mutation useful for building, new emotes to expand your body language. Being in a cozy location will also give you status effects that decrease your hunger and thirst drain and slowly heal you. So if you have a really comfortable base, your hunger and thirst will drain slower and you'll slowly get healed. Now, I don't know the time limit for these, so maybe it's for like 5 or 10 minutes or something like that. Once you're too far away, then it's obviously going to wear off. Multiple buildings of the same type don't give you the same level of coziness. For example, one bed will provide lots of coziness, but a second bed of the same type will only give you a little bit. So it's kind of tiered down. So you build one bed, for example, like they're using here, it's going to give you a certain amount of coziness, and the more you build after that, it's just going to kind of deteriorate how much it adds on there. 5 levels of coziness. Current coziness level show on your HUD if it is at least 1. Note, some existing decorative buildings are now unlocked via the coziness system instead of by analyzing materials such as the grandfather clock. There you go. For you builders, now you have a reason to build. and which I like because you can play this whole game without even building an actual base. You could just build little tents or whatever little outposts basically to go from one area to the next. Now they actually give you some motivation to build. The handy net, which is one of the big things they had. So now one of the issues with building, obviously, is if you're building these big giant bases or big zipline towers and stuff like that, you had to sit there and build to climb up. Like building your station around what your actual building is going to be, and then tear down what you not want to keep there. The handy net allows you to do this a lot more seamlessly. So it basically puts you into the handy net mode. You can fly around to build and customize bases to your heart's content. So now you can fly up there without having to sit there and parkour or platform your way all the way up to the top of what you're trying to build. In order to use handy net, you have to have the handy net unlocked custom game option toggled on. Default in creative and creative bug game modes. For survival game modes, you just convert your game to a custom game first in the game settings menu to enable this feature. So this is basically just a custom game or creative game mode to use this. So if you don't want to have to convert your survival game to a custom game to keep whatever achievements or stuff like that you only get in survival, then just be wary of that. Once enabled, Handy Net can be activated in the crafting menu or the construction radio. Handy Net can build from storage near your team and even haul grass planks and weed stems. Additional custom game options. You can now start with all mutations unlocked, fully yoked, Handy Net enabled, all recipes unlocked and free, split into 2 separate options, all recipes unlocked, and all recipes free. Good for the content creators out here making this, so that way you can test stuff out just in your custom game options without having to do all the hard work. Loot luck. This is pretty cool too. Increases the chance of obtaining rare drops and receive more loot in general. So all your Black Ox parts, your infected wolf spider, your Black Widow stuff, all that kind of stuff. Now you get generic loot luck, which increases drop rate for all items. Then you have targeted loot luck, greatly increases drop rate for all items from a specific creature type. Loot luck Black Widow increases the drop rate specifically for Black Widows. New status effect can be found in various places, most easily by utilizing the new Rub for Luck feature on all the stuffed creatures. So now you have the head mounts, you have the creature mounts, and now you have the stuffed creatures, which you can go rub for luck. So if you're going to hunt for a certain item, make sure you hit that up before you go out and do it. Turrets, there is no pebblet turret and pollen turret now. There's a single turret called the acorn turret, which has different round types now. Rocky rounds, which are pebblets, groundy rounds, pointy rounds, sappy rounds, burny rounds. Hot little suckers can set the ground around them ablaze. So if you have certain insects that are weak against things, or if you're in a multiplayer and getting a base raid, or maybe if you're doing the mixers now, you might want to use some acorn turrets here to help you slow down the enemies with sappy rounds or burn the enemies with some burny rounds. Pretty cool thing here. Blah, blah, blah. They're all same. Turret aiming angles increase. You can aim higher and lower. You can now see the health of the turret while inside of it as well. Yoked gardening. Mussel sprouts can be grown in the garden patch now, so you don't have to keep going down to the pond lab to get your 30 mussel sprouts every few days. 3 new achievements added. A new photo mode improvement. Added depth of field slider and 5 new poses. It's available now, upgraded for the Steam Deck support. So that's good for you Steam Deck operators out there. Quality of life features. Now you can see the status effects beneath the enemy health bar. You can build more things at one time. Relocate walls, floors, roofs, and foundations, as long as they're not the sole supporter of another building. So keep that in mind. You can't relocate something that's has the structural integrity of basically your whole building. The mutation loadout thing now is in effect, which is weird because I thought you can hold up to 5 different mutations. So it's interesting that you can have 4 different mutation loadouts. Okay, yeah, that's right. So 4 different loadouts with your 5 mutations. So instead of swapping back and forth, you can just swap your loadout, which is really cool. Shared world backup saves. Shared worlds now create local backup saves on the last host's machine anytime a save is made. So this is a lot of things that people were complaining about, was the shared worlds and the lack of how they worked. So now anytime, so depending on the host, it'll save a backup save on that computer or laptop, whatever. These saves are not stored in the cloud like the primary shared world save, and thus only the host that made them has access to them. Backup saves can be loaded if you were the last host for the shared world where the backup save was made. Done to prevent multiple players from loading very old backup saves that stomp over the current playthrough process. Your base is completely destroyed. The current host wants to load a backup autosave from 15 minutes prior when the base is still standing, so kind of helpful. New content. Here's your new equipment for the Wasp. Wasp Morion, which is the helmet, the breastplate, greaves, Bard's Tudor, Bard's bow, Wasp Queen trinket, 6 new secret trinkets, pollen arrows, more smoothies, and meals. And I'm not going to get into this, but over 90 new buildings have been added for your base. One of the biggest things right here is just going to be your large pallets right here. So you have a large storage chest which holds 60 different items. Remember your item stack. And then you have the large plank pallets which hold 60, sim pallet 60. Nice. And right here, hot tub, get the hot spring status effect upon soaking in it. Don't know what that is yet. We're going to test it out hopefully here soon and maybe stream it or do some videos on this. So we're going to jump back in. Here's all the decor now that you have with the base building. It's insane. New base structures. Still don't have vertical half walls, which is an issue, but we'll take it for what it is. I'm not saying that I don't think they're making future updates anymore. I think that is a thing that they're going to be doing. New wall mounts, new stuffed insects, obviously, and all this other stuff here. There's going to be different. There's new milk molars. Combat's been changed. Broodmother changes, mutation changes, UI changes, world changes, pets, optimization, building, armor, and weapons all right here. You guys can look at. Like I said, I'll leave the link for these patch notes in the description, as well as how to join the PTS if you're on console and or computer or PC. So a lot of stuff just in this one update. Is it going to be enough to keep the game going for a little bit? I think so, especially for all the people that are still interested in the game and maybe new players going forward. You have a lot more content to look forward to right now. And like I said, I wouldn't be surprised now if they have another update maybe in another 6 months or so. So keep your eyes out for that. And also keep your eyes out for more original Ryan grounded content, hopefully coming soon. That's all we got for this one, guys. Take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and as always, stay rich, my friends. We'll see you guys in the next video. Later. Hey, thanks again for watching, everybody. If you like that video, go ahead and check out one of these videos right here. Thanks. Bye.